All right, good morning, good morning. Excuse me. All right, we're back. Welcome back, folks. Long weekend for me, but we're back once again. Appreciate everybody stopping in. It's been a little while. Some things have been happening, huh? Good morning. Some things have been going on. I don't know. I missed out a little bit. Some things have been transpiring. So, Spaghetti Master, what's happening? Craig, what's going on? Welcome back. Good morning, folks. Got a couple of stocks on the screen here. AI finally doing the thing. I've been watching for weeks now. 20% day on AI today. Target still $32.66, which is what I call the money line. High possibility to get toward the golden pocket. 0.618 is at $33.64. Wild move off of a breakout that we've been tracking now for a while, a few weeks. And here it is. It's here. Target, another one. Looking fantastic. Preparing for a breakout on the weekly chart, daily chart. Getting very close to doing so. All right, you got the first level here on the break. Inside a broadening top pattern. Looking to try to break above this level here. The target on this short term is about 159.05. Once you break 159.05, you should break the downtrend that's been established here since the top. And you're looking to get out of this thing. All right, get out of here. Start heading towards about 179, 175, somewhere in that range. High possibility to 0.707 in the 190 range. Should be crazy. It makes sense going into the holiday season and all of that, which is what's happening at the moment. J. Cole, what's going on? Oren, welcome back, folks. We are here once again, watching this stuff, man, play out. Hope everybody's been well, doing all right out here. So we got World War III back on the table. All right, go figure. AMC gets pushed down. That's just how it works. That's how it works. We hear that they are dropping... that they have dropped off missiles that were supplied by the U.S. in territories in Russia. All right, that is not great. Not great news. Not a good thing to see at all. All right, it's just what we're dealing with at the moment. It's part of it. What are you gonna do? AMC back to 426 today. The money line back where everything started from that move that we got up all the way up to the target, which was at 487. 491 was the hopeful target. 487 is what we got. Missed it by a couple cents. Hopefully it was fruitful for everybody. But we are starting the process again. In a little bit worse of a situation. But doesn't mean that it's a wrap completely. Just a wrap for the moment. Bro, it's absolutely wild, bro, how things work out. And the timing of everything, the way things play out. And now that we're getting this little pump back up here on the SPY to fill the gap, SPY can actually head towards about 590. We've been watching this thing since the news this morning. And for it to have reversed to come up this high, it's interesting to me. We wanted to at least see it fill the gap to the upside, which it has. It has at this point, I believe it has. Let me double check on it real fast. We've tracked last week this move back up after the Trump pump to retest the top of this little box section here, which it has done so. It's pushed back up, now approaching to the inside of the descending broadening wedge. 590 is a high possibility to get back inside the wedge, and then from there, touch here before potentially continuing down. But the gap so far was filled. We have filled the gap completely. All right, we had it closed. We had a zeroed out day, meaning that we obviously have filled the gap. Now it's decision time. What's the market going to do? Is it going to start to come down, or is it going to go up? This is the question. All right, but right now, so far, we are at resistance again. Trying to decide whether or not this thing is going to continue to press. In my opinion, you can press and get right back up to 590, and then from there, we'll decide what happens next. But all off of the news of potential escalation of war. Highly interesting that you get this kind of reversal set up here on the escalation of war. So this is what you got to think about. how much of this stuff is really related to truth, and how much of this stuff is really about capitalism? You know, it's the question you got to raise every single time. But I mean, that doesn't really, do much to us as the ones who are watching and trading the market. We just move what the trend says. Whatever the trend is how we move. And hopefully, that you could take that mentality on and, make your own destiny out of the situation, right? Would appreciate everybody once again for stopping in as usual. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Totally appreciate you. All right, who else has popped in? Binsk. First time seeing your name. Appreciate you stopping in. As far as AMC is concerned, we're going to get to AMC. But shout out to anybody who's on this Archer play. I know this came up last week when we were on here. Archer, in my opinion, is ready to break out. It should start heading up towards about $5.24. All right, you get this breakout on Archer long term. Watch 535 with a push back down to retest the outside of the triangle, which is the breakout. And from there, you're looking at $7 to probably about $9 within the next couple of weeks. So Archer is a play. Pretty solid right now up 7% on this deal. And let's talk about AMC and GME, which are always on the forefront, no matter what we're doing. GME is continuously bullish, even though it has, I think, trying to be patient on this thing. I think it needs to come down to $25.25, $25.48, $24.89, somewhere in that range, real quick, before reversing back up. Like a quick bounce, kind of a fake out of this uptrend that GME has been building. I think it's necessary to do so. But so far, GME is still showing like a lot of bullish signs. Not really obeying what some of the TA says. And we know it's doing it. It's just not really obeying what I think is supposed to happen. Again, we did get that move back down, which was what I wanted to see after touching that level, not being able to successfully break $28, which we knew was going to be a gauntlet. We kept calling it the gauntlet. But ultimately, right now, I still think we need to get down to that range real quick. A shot down, a fake breakdown to about $24 and change, $24.88 to about $25.25, and then get some high volume to push us back into the wedge, or back into the channel. But in my opinion, that's got to happen, and it's got to happen soon. Can this reverse and keep going? It's possible. But based on what's happening here with the overall trend, I think it needs to do that one good time before moving up to the higher numbers, probably in the $30 to $33 range, before a retest of that $30 range. So you got to get the strength that's necessary to break this $28 range has to come from somewhere. It can't just continue to melt up this way. They're gonna slam this thing into the ground if they do that. So it's got to come from somewhere. So in my opinion, GME has to come down one more good time to about $24.89 to about $25.25 in that range. So I put a little box here to see if it actually gets it, but we're gonna keep watching GME. Manny, what's going on, man? Welcome back, my friend. All right, hope you guys been doing well. Hope you've been doing well. All right, we are back once again. All right, let's see here. Appreciate you, Asana. I haven't watched Asana stock in a little bit. Let's see how they're doing. Asana had some great opportunities last year. Let's see here, but 2660 so far. Hey, how many commercials are we gonna get here? All right, let's start this back here. All right, so, man, Target's still pushing. Yeah, Target's still pushing. Target's breaking out for real. Target's still pushing. SPY is now above the close of yesterday, so it's actually looking to break this downtrend. Probably looking to potentially get back to 590. Let's see. AMC. Let's have this conversation real quick. Steve Wright, what's going on, my friend? Welcome back. So AMC, precarious situation. Quite precarious, if I do say so myself. They have... All right, so this is, I'm pretty sure, what everybody's waiting for. They have been able to knock AMC right back down to where it started, costing us this uptrend again. This is the uptrend from the all-time low, all right, which is roughly about $2.38. So this is the second time they're doing this. This is not a great sign. This is the second time they've knocked us out of this level. The first time we picked up calls, we knew that was going to be the spot. The money line was at 426, which is what we called out a few different times. After that 426 move, we all caught this. I believe I put it out on stream. I put it out on X, saying the move was a target to 491. All right, that was a big move. Some folks made a lot of money off that deal, and it worked out quite nicely. However, that was a reclaim of the uptrend from the all-time low. What has now been caused is a second breakdown after this fake breakdown of that all-time low of the upper trend line, and now we are broken it again. Not a great sign. One thing that we have going on for us on the AMC is that we have a downtrend on a low volume push down. Right, volume is very low on the price moving down to the section. We need to see some sort of a change in trend here, or some kind of high volume pop. All right, a high volume candle of some sort to bring this back up off 426 as soon as possible. If we start to lose 426, which is that old money line that we started, where everything pretty much started, we would have a move down potentially lower again. All right, that's back on the table again, potentially down to $4, as low as about $3.38. Because now again, we're losing that uptrend for the second time, and we're right at 426. Again, we bounced exactly at 426 as marked here as a low of the day. We need to get out of this thing, like ASAP. All right. GME is relaxing, so we don't have GME on our side. We have the market kind of unsure of itself once again with the war fears. So we're in a spot on the AMC as we've been in a spot several times before. Nothing has changed on that front. So can this thing break out finally and move to the upside? I think it's still a good possibility, but we're going to have some things and variables that are playing into it again, as it usually does. You know, the market wants to tank when AMC is ready to start to do some things, or they want to have World War III, or, you know, there's we're not sure who's going to go into office, or there's this, there's that, there's the third. It's just common, right? It's earnings. Oh, earnings is a reason to drop it. I don't know what it is about this stock, but it just always plays contrary to what the rest of the world is doing. So I don't know. We really must have pissed these guys off. I don't know what people were inboxing Kenny and them, but it shows up on the charts. It does show up on the charts. Every other stock that would have been in this position would have started going up by now. It has. It just hasn't gone all the way through. But I believe they're going to lift this thing one time, one good time, one shot for us to really start the move. Just taking a minute to actually do it. All right. So there we are, guys. I was looking for 9. I'm going to say it. If it doesn't get it this week, it's probably going to take a little bit longer. We're probably going to extend it out most likely for maybe possibly middle of December. It's possible. But right now, it's do or die, my friend. So if I was wrong, I fully admit I'm wrong. All right. I've been right a lot of times. But I'll fully admit that I'm wrong if it does not happen very soon. All right. So Bill Greek, appreciate you stopping in, my friend. As well as Steve Wright, all you guys as well back in the stream. So we're going to wait. Be patient. And rock it from there. GME, once again, waiting for it to potentially come down if it does not break above this level. I would like to see it happen, but if it does not, we expect it to come back down. I would like to see it to, again, touch at least 25 to 20, 25 to about 24.89 before reversing back to the upside in a big way. Let's see what else we got going on here. Archer, I mentioned earlier today. Specific levels I'm looking for on AMC to break, hopefully break above, is roughly about 436 to 432. You break above that, we can potentially see 450. All right, so if that's the case, what's going to happen in that case? If we get to 450 again, they're going to use this as a sell area. All right, 450 would be used as a sell area, which would signify or call for puts to be in or shorts to take place at that level, because now it's going to serve as a resistance target. We broke back into it. It may serve as a resistance target, and then we could potentially come down. They dropped us down a lot farther than what I would like to have seen. So that's where we're probably looking for possible to happen. And then they're going to try to reaccumulate this thing one more time. So we'll see. All right, we're watching and waiting. AMC is what it is. But hopefully you guys have your reasons to do what you need to do, and you're protecting yourself regardless of whatever is happening here on the short term. All right. Hey, 2023 Gainer, what's up, man? Welcome back, my friend. So AI sector is surging. Yeah, we talked about AI AI, specifically the stock AI, right? Started off the stream with that one. That was one we've been watching for a little while. So it's roughly about the $24 mark, 24, 25 bucks area, and it's officially broken out, man. So it looks good for AI. Conversation. I saw something with what was it, Kim Kardashian or whatever. She's got like one of those AI robots. I think Elon's trying to make some things happen over there. So he sent her a robot. So that's interesting. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's obviously AI is back on tap right now. The AI sector is looking hot. AI, the stock itself, heading again towards about $32. So I'm expecting 32.66 to hit. Should happen pretty sharp very soon if it hasn't already happened. It has not happened yet. So it's probably today or maybe tomorrow over the short term. And then we'll see what happens from there. Doge continues to be one we're going to continue to pay attention to. All right, Doge is still holding above the 36 cent mark, which is a 707 on the daily chart. All right, it's been holding up. It's just basically just rounding out, looking to break above that 43 cent mark. When it does, 53 cents is back on target. If you get to 53 cents, you're looking to probably go towards all-time highs again and potentially higher. So watch Doge. If you do not have some Doge, you may want to be considering some. But that point 707 on the daily has been pretty successful so far as holding up as a support line. So 36 cents, 35 cents was a spot to continue to load up on. And so far, yeah, 35.356, just in that range. And Doge, again, is now up 6%, looking to eventually break this 0.786. And once you do, 53 cents. From there, I'm looking at 76 cents, which is a test of all-time highs. Inside of this broadening pattern, which looks absolutely crazy. All right, so we've talked about this before. You're just repeating this on a very large scale. All right, this guy right here. Once, and then a really big one here. And the interesting thing about this setup is that it's also doing on the micro time frames. If you look at what we have now, let's say if we go to the 1 hour, 30 minute, and ever since this 35, 36 cent area, check it out. Look what's happening. You're doing the same thing here, just on a very small kind of rounding setup. All right, this rounding all off of that 0.707. So you're just rounding out and ready to break out to the upside. And when Doge goes, it goes fast. All right, so just pay attention to that. But you're watching 41 cents, 43 cents to break. Watch out, you're going right to 76 cents. You'll probably see that in about a week or two. All right. Let's see. So watch Doge. Congratulations if you guys have been buying your Doge and holding on to that. That is definitely one to be diamond handing. I will say that much. All right. Let's go here. All right, that's cool. I was about to switch that track real quick. Seems decent, though. All right, so not too bad. Not too bad as far as that's concerned. All right, let me take a look at GME for a minute. On the 5 minute. Do appreciate everybody once again being in the stream. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Hopefully provide some sort of value at some point. If not today or other times in the past. All right. Or at very least some entertainment for the time being. All right, let me just take a look at this thing on the short term. And see what we got here. Because GME defies the laws of analysis as well. All right, let's take a look here. But GME is very close. I do not fully think you'll break this level. I don't think so. It could happen, but I think it'll probably come down. I would actually prefer it to come down. To get one more opportunity to buy on the dip in the $25 range. Just real quick. Just a quick buy in the $25 range, and then that's it. Just a real quick one. I think you need to come down here 25 one more time. So as far as the other levels, though, let me hide the indicators for a moment. The major gauntlet areas, which is the ones that we've been watching and tracking for the last couple of weeks, and this rise up from $20 that we pretty much tracked the entire way up here. Let's take a look at those macro major resistances. Boom. They have still held up the entire way. All right, even today and also yesterday, 25.84. The daily 200 moving average, 400 moving average on the daily. Bounced right off of that a couple different times. Once, 2 times today, and also yesterday. So far, they still are holding up. We just need to get a continuation follow through, but I still don't think you're ready yet. I think you need to come back and test 25.25. I think it's totally necessary. Or you can just trade sideways. Trade sideways for the next couple of days. Maybe get a push down real quick and then come up. But you need some volume to start to really show itself in order for a reversal to really start to happen. All this upside movement is really not showing us anything besides low volume. All right, this is all like lower volume ever since that push up to about 28 bucks. The volume has now been drained out of the stock. So there's no way to really believe that this is ready to start to go up yet. In my opinion, this is still looks bearish until it actually gets a push out on volume. So we'll see. Can it happen sooner? Yeah, it's a GME we're talking about, but right now, so far, it doesn't look like it. I think we'll get the most out of it today. We'll probably get somewhere around 26.75, 26.70. Possible 27. It's possible, but I don't think you'll hold it. I think you'll get faked out and get pushed back down from that point. So we'll see. We will see. We're all watching GME for that potential move, but I would prefer to get this spring kind of action to happen here in the 24 to 25.25 range. 24.89 to 25.25. That would be the ideal setup. But in the interim, going forward, what I would want to see on GME side is this pattern getting broader and broader and broader. All right, we want to see it kind of just wave bigger and bigger over time. All right, this is what we're actually starting to form, where you get this like waving pattern over and over again. Kind of faking out longs, faking out shorts. We started it here back in the $20 range, which is where I bought my calls. It's like sub 20, the 1950 range. I bought $25 calls down there. Rode us up really nicely. Did trim them on Friday before leaving out. But this whole waving pattern, I'm expecting to continue, but it will get more violent as time goes on. You'll get these bigger and bigger swings, $10 swings, $20 swings in a day. Like, you will start to get that once you clear the $30 range. So it's something to prepare yourself for. But once you start to get in those ranges, they get really wild and very wide. But above $30, I do expect that first hit to happen at 30, the hit to about 37, and then from there you will get your first drop back down, which you mentioned in the past. But that's what you're ultimately waiting for to happen. But I do still feel you got to come down one good time. I would be looking to trim heavily in that range if we get the move down to 25.25. 25.89 I'm mentioning, 24.89. I'd be looking to load up on calls, ride them up to about 37, and then from there I'd be looking to exit them at that point. So that's what I'm ultimately looking to do. That's my plan. Hopefully you guys got your plan on this as well, because that's important to have a plan before the action takes place, or else you will wind up in it as a deer in headlights that we mentioned in the past. It's just what happens. All right, yesterday I was in the Discord. We had to literally try to fight the feeling to buy calls at $27. That's what happens. Like, your emotions take over, right? Even though we talked about it. We knew it was coming down to $25. And it did just that. However, it's just this emotion to want to buy into the weakness that was clearly showing up. Kept on being something we had to really fight. So this is, again, there's something that you need to be cognizant of, is that you need to really do what you need to do to prepare yourself to do what you got to do when the move starts to really happen. It hasn't happened yet, but it is definitely setting up for it. All right, but you got to practice now, right? I sold here on this move on Friday, seeing that there was going to be that weakness. We all know that we watched this Adam and Eve. Right, there was an inverse Adam and Eve that happened here, clearly saying you're going back to 26.50. Hopefully you guys caught that, were able to at least save a couple contracts or sell or whatever you could to take some profits off that move, because it was very clear you weren't going to break out last Friday. It was quite clear. So hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of just knowing that piece of information from a value standpoint that we try to add here. Right, and that was a clear spot to get out. Now, at this point, it's a potential move, like I mentioned before, to break down. You don't want this to happen, which I clearly don't think is going to happen, where you get that inverse head and shoulder situation, and then the inverse Adam and Eve pattern, and then you get that move all the way down to 23. That would suck. It's possible. I don't think you're going to go down that low. However, it can happen. All right, so again, we want to prepare ourselves for all types of situations just in case. But do have to understand the sell button does work for a reason, but you can always reposition. You can always get back in. Just know that the move is not over. But moves always do take a break. All right, that's necessary. It's how things work. But you don't want this to happen. I just flipped the chart. Just mind you, this is an inverse Adam and Eve pattern that would potentially take us down to about $23. Could happen. I don't think that's going to happen. However, again, prepare yourself for all situations. All right. Oaks Way, what's going on, my friend? Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So SPY is still continuing to make its move. All right. It did break this little bit of a downtrend within this descending broadening wedge. It kind of reclaimed that area, and it's trying to get towards about 590. All right. So 590 is possible. 589.80 is probably even better of a shot. So I'll add that back here as a potential location here to touch off that move. So 589.50, 590, somewhere in that range is probably going to be where you're going to head. All after bouncing off of this little bit of a liquidity zone back in this area where a lot of trading took place before you broke out to the upside off the Trump pump. All right, and then from there you came back and just retested it. So 620 is still on the target. Still the target here for the SPY. Has not stopped being that. But now we got war fears. We got to continue to think about war and stuff like that. All those things that can, cause that to not happen right away. But ultimately, this is the pattern I'm watching. Now, if you start to get up into this range and break 595.19, I'm probably looking to see if we get up there probably really soon. So we'll see. We're going to see. But ultimately, 620 has always been the number. 620 never stopped being the number since we were at, 507, 525. Now that's probably the top. It probably could be the top. We don't know for sure, but based on how everything has been looking, and also we try to look at this thing from a longer term perspective, not just the last 4 hours, not just the last, few weeks, talking about for the last few years. All right, and that's what we're looking at on the monthly time frame. All right, just get an idea of it's very good to get an idea of what your playing field is, what you're dealing with on the longer term. Just so you know where you could potentially go. This goes back to about 1992. All right, 1992 was a good year. So we can actually take a look here and get an idea where we could potentially top out at. And this is coming up as roughly that same number, which I mentioned a minute ago, 620. That's where you're probably going to go. Now, will you just bust through this thing and roll out? I don't know if that's going to happen. I'd say 620, and then you probably start to come back down. Maybe to retest about 580, possibly even lower, 570, somewhere in that range. Can this thing dump off and get a blow off top? It's possible. That'll bring you back all the way towards about 530. But ultimately, in my opinion, that would probably be where you stop. Maybe trade sideways for a few months into the new presidency, and eventually come back down. But this would be the scenario that we got placed here right now with the potential nuclear war and the threats and stuff like that. That would be the perfect timing for it to all happen. It would make perfect sense around that for the charts to line up to do that kind of a move that we just discussed a minute ago based upon the new rhetoric that we have with the world war that might be potentially happening. So it sucks. I hate to say those words, but I mean, hey, you guys saw the news that we have we have missiles, United States missiles that were used on an attack on Russian soil. So that's what we're dealing with, guys. So just something to pay attention to. But once again, I do appreciate all you guys being up in the stream. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe, all that good stuff, while we continue to watch this thing all unfold before our eyes. Let's take a look here. I'm going to mark this off a little bit deeper. And that's the pattern I'm watching in the short term for the SPY. All right, what do we got here? So everything's starting to actually turn around based upon what's happening with the SPY moving up, finding some kind of legs here to push to the upside. Archer, still watching for Archer to get this move up. Again, I'm looking for $5.36, $5.36, $5.24, somewhere in that range on Archer. So it might be a good idea for a swing on Archer. It wouldn't be a bad setup. Same with Target. Target, I'm looking for roughly about 160. And then from there, we're looking for a move to potentially 175 on Target. So I'm going to say it a couple times. It might be a good idea to start getting some in your portfolio if you're looking to swing some things outside of AMC and GME. All right, just to make some money in the meantime, which you can always take out, sell, and then go back into it to buy more AMC and GME. All right, just keeping it real. You don't always got to swing for the fences on just AMC and GME because you miss a lot of other opportunities that are out here. I mean, the SPY, the market, Tesla, and all these have all ran to new all-time highs while AMC has done absolutely nothing. Not saying that you couldn't make money on AMC, of course. You know, you're not always going to catch the squeeze move. You can make money on calls and shares and covered calls and all that stuff. But however, doesn't mean that you can't make money elsewhere to lower your average and come back into it. So just something to pay attention to. All right, so that's why I throw out these different opportunities. Hopefully they've helped you out in one way, shape, or form in other areas, guys. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here in terms of who's throwing out some money on certain plays, if there's any money out there right now. But it doesn't seem like the market's too afraid of anything that's happening right now in terms of potential war because it's kind of moving up. Right? Maybe it's a setup. Maybe it's a setup for a rip. Can't call it just yet. Maybe it's a setup for a dump. But ultimately, I still have my top targets. I don't think the market really starts to drop off until we get to 620. Yeah, but AMC does not follow the rules, man. I will tell you. And they know exactly. We pissed somebody off, bro. We did. All right, let's take a look and see what's happening on a couple different things. Let's see if anything's breaking out right now. Since we have some movement happening on the market, it's definitely worth taking a look at potential movers. It's about 11 o'clock now. Carnival Cruise Lines. Let's see what Carnival Cruise Lines is looking like, shall we? CCL. So we getting this movement. Yep, there's CCL going. So we got a 2% move so far on CCL. All right, let me just move this out of here. And get that out of here so we don't need to SPY. 2% move on CCL. What is going on with CCL right now? CCL news. Earnings in 30 days. Very big bounce on CCL. Cracked through here. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. There's your cross up on the 15-minute that took place about earlier this morning. You broke your downtrends. Hey, what's happening, Annie? Welcome back, welcome back. Appreciate you stopping in, as usual. Always a pleasure. All right, let's take a look here. So CCL, 15-minute platinum cross up here. J100K, what's happening, man? SoFi? Yeah, we check that out. SoFi, man, I haven't looked at it in a little while, but I'm still looking for it to go like towards 15, maybe 18. I don't know what it's at now, but CCL just took a little move real quick. Let's see what that's looking like real fast, if this can continue. Yeah, CCL is going to keep going. A lot of opportunity on CCL. After this breakout, forget about it. CCL is going to keep going for a while. The CCL here, targets up here, probably around 27. So CCL can keep going. Just broke this down, this level here of resistance, which is roughly about 23. Once you broke $23.30, $24, 27 is coming on CCL. So another one that looks decent. SoFi you called out, right? Let's pull up SoFi in a minute here for you. So I'm looking at Target, Archer, CCL, and Dogecoin. All right, Dogecoin is a problem. Dogecoin, even if you're not in on Dogecoin, you'll double your money in my opinion. So watch Dogecoin. Get rid of this for a minute. Move us to my other screens. All right, so just gonna keep. I have a couple other screens here, just trying to manage those real quick. SoFi. Hey, what's happening, Mish? Mash. Nah, I appreciate it, man. Definitely. Yeah, so see, SoFi, yeah, it's still following suit. J100K. Wait, so we try to do here, Miss Mash. Definitely appreciate you, man. Hopefully, it's the first time I'm seeing your name, so hopefully we'll see you in the future. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So we'll be here, continuing to try to provide this stuff out. But yeah, it did break the money line. I had a money line for SoFi at 1378. Obviously broke this downtrend, which has been in place for quite a while. And let's see what it looks like short term. Like, this has been set up to go for a minute now. All right, so it's about $9-10 we're talking about SoFi, and it's just been hammering through ever since. The technology side, the business side, it makes sense for that to happen. All right, here it is here. Business and tech and AI. I mean, it's all the rage. So why wouldn't SoFi finally start to flip? And there you go, right there. Short term, as far as continuation, I had a target. I believe it was like $15, $18. I have to write it up again. I don't think I have it here anymore, but I haven't looked at this thing probably since then. I don't own any SoFi, but I know we watched it. We looked at it a couple times in the stream. Let's see about what's potentially going to happen. Yeah. Let me get Dogecoin out of here. I don't need Dogecoin anymore for now. Okay. Hey, what's happening, Iron Man? Welcome back, my friend. I appreciate you all stopping in. All right, so I don't know, my fibs ain't here anymore. Let's find out what my fib is. So, we pull your fibs. Just gonna go from the macro, go from the high to the low, which will be, just keep it simple. High to low, all-time high to all-time low. What's your target? Oh, you're right there. You are right there. So you crossed the money line, which you had, which is about 1378. Lines up with the 0.618 that I had written out already. So 1378 was the money line. Again, the 0.618 makes sense. You have this target here on the 0.65, so that's about 1450 on the daily chart. All right, so 1450 on the daily chart. What did you hit so far? 1425. So you're looking pretty good as far as that's concerned. So you have a little bit more upside left before you start to get some resistance. So roughly about 1458 should be where you actually land. But the volume looks good for continuation up until that point. So as far as SoFi is concerned, I mean, if you're not already in, I wouldn't say get in now. It'd be a little bit, scary up here in terms of trying to catch a call move, because you're starting to wane out on volume overall on the daily, on the 4-hour chart. You're getting a little volume pop, but you are starting to wane the volume overall. So you're at that resistance level. So you'd be looking again 1450-ish, 1458. Good possibility to get up here to the 707, 1620. But you're getting close to that range before you probably start to reverse, come back down and try to retest some levels. Not saying $10, but probably somewhere in that range here, about $11. All right, about $11 before you reaccumulate and then try to go up even higher. Ultimately, I think you'll eventually start to head back toward all-time highs soon. Just going to take some time, but I think that also is going to go along with the move that the SPY can make to about 620. So you're looking to $18, maybe back to $20, $28, but ultimately I'll be probably in this range. Would make sense, at least for the short term. But you got to come back to probably retest this level here, about $11 before you do that. It's just part of the process. Hey, what's happening, Ailey? Welcome back. Emmanuel. Yeah, sound is looking good. Sound is, I really don't have any fear in sound, because it's a share swing. So I mean on sound I got in around $4 or something like that, $4.50, $4.70, somewhere in that range. But sound, I'm still expecting it to go to some higher numbers. We'll pull it up real fast if you guys got in. I do believe you entered in, and I think you were in like the twos, I think, right, Emmanuel? You've been in for a little while. So yeah, but sound looks good. Sound looks good. I think sounds will probably head up. Probably into the $10 range really soon. All right. As far as, let's take a look at this real quick. I mean, sound again. It's an AI boom, right? Isn't it? So just like we talked about earlier. So just to compare some things here, Emmanuel. AI boom, right? So AI is moving right now. For instance, we just talked about AI. AI is up 20% today, right? SoundHound is an AI instrument. It's a musical AI instrument. That's what it does. So ultimately, it's using AI to identify musical stuff like that. So in this case, AI is probably going to head toward that golden pocket soon. I said about $10 is probably on table really soon. The 0.5 is at $9.54. But ultimately, you're looking for this reversal as high as about $13. So if you're in at $2, I mean you just Moaz out here, man. That's not too bad. Again, I'm in at around $4 and change. It's just a share swing. Just kind of not really watching it because I'm expecting it to go here over time. It doesn't have to happen in one shot. But that's ultimately looking real nice, man. So as far as SoundHound is concerned, yeah, just a little more time. I think you're going to probably start heading up and breaking this level here really soon. You almost did the other day. You in SoundHound drift? SoundHound calls? Yeah, you're good. If you're going to, it's worth a swing. It's definitely worth a nice little swing. But SoundHound will break out even further. It's not even done. It's the weekly chart we've been paying attention to. But again, that's knowing the lay of the land. This is really important. And then from there, you're probably going to break out this level once you do above $7.50. Watch out. You'll make your way to $9. From there, 11, 13, and so on. It's definitely worth a long-term swing, in my opinion. And Lumen too, yeah. I remember you had some good positions on both of those. So good stuff, man. You'll be straight. You'll be just fine, my friend. Congratulations, man. So I'm holding on the sound. I'm holding on the sound with you. And Target, guys. We mentioned Target this morning. Target is gonna go. It's still pushing. You'll see Target. It's about to hit the target again. Talked about this morning. 159.05 is still a target, and you will break out to the upside. My next target on target would be 175. 175 on target. So it's a great opportunity for anybody who's trying to find some plays to get into. Target is good. Another good one. All right. If NVIDIA moves this week, yeah. So NVIDIA earnings is on the way. NVIDIA earnings is on the way. So we got, tomorrow? So NVIDIA is going to probably start getting some excitement behind it going into earnings. And NVIDIA has not stopped. I'll take a look at Palantir for you as well. I didn't miss that. And also Roku, Illy. So NVIDIA it's got earnings tomorrow. Be careful. The play nowadays is that they'll run it up into earnings. They'll drop it 20% for no reason. And then from there, they'll run it right back up 2-3 days later. That's just what happens in bullish markets because they need a way to shake people off somehow. So that's what they continue to do. But NVIDIA does have earnings tomorrow. If you get some kind of really bullish news where they don't do that kind of a move, you could see NVIDIA just run up to 153, which is still a target. From this perspective, we talked about this in the past. These creek lines, kind of give you the story. You got this push up, right? Kind of first wave, a wave 2 back down to the creek line. You're probably getting ready to start the wave 3. All right, it's bounced off this creek, this yellow line here. So we'll hide the drawings for a minute and just look out for what it is. All right, if this move, and you'll probably get ready to break this downtrend that's been established and head to 153. If that happens, well, if you break 153, it will probably go to that target that we've been talking about for a while now, which is 180. All right, 180 is my top. I've had 180 as a top now for a long time. you know, it's probably going to get ready to do that very soon. This, in my opinion, is going to be what ultimately gets SPY to 620. And if any stock could do it all by itself, it's probably NVIDIA. All right, so now is it going to do it right away? I don't know. We're going to see. I mean, we got some conflicting things happening here with the market. All right, we have war fears, and then we have NVIDIA. Who's going to win? Right. NVIDIA could do it all by itself. We've seen it happen before. NVIDIA is one of the main reasons we're all the way up here at $600. You know, it didn't trickle over to AMC, but you know, it is what it is. We're at $600. NVIDIA is one of the reasons that this has happened. But in this case, we need to see how my earnings turns out. But so far, based on just this alone, it looks like that's what can ultimately happen. But again, your first target is going to be 153, which has not yet touched. And from there, we're looking at a potential move up to 180, which is going to be, in my opinion, the top of NVIDIA for a little while before you start to go into a correction phase. It just has to play out that way, in my opinion. But doesn't mean that NVIDIA would be bearish. It'd just be finally taking a rest after a year of just straight up ripping to the upside. Right? After all of us watching 250 and waiting for that head and shoulders to hit, which never hit. All the way down to 250 about a year ago. Everybody remembers this little head and shoulders thing that I got squeezed out on, and I just jumped on the bandwagon. Right down here, I was watching this to catch this head and shoulders to try to drop it. Yeah, I got squeezed, and I finally figured it out to jump on the bandwagon and started buying shares. So, you know, still got a decent average in the fours, 43 area right now. So it's not mad at it, but still, it's got to come to an end at some point. Has to. And the stocks don't just always go up forever. Just like they don't always go down forever. They all work in cycles to a degree. So we're just waiting for this head and shoulders. Everybody remembers that move. You know, watching this whole thing, and this never happened. And then just kept going straight up. So, yeah. All right. I'll take a look at PLTR, and in PLTR, I still have it going to $83. I mean, I haven't looked at it today. Don't know what it's doing at this point. So I'm just going to guess it's still going up. I mean, we've been looking ever since. Once it broke $44, in my opinion, it wasn't going to stop. What is it looking like today? $61 right now. What did it hit? 62. What was the top so far? 67. 67. Once it broke $44, which is what we talked about here, and I'll forget about it. It was destined to go up. And what do we have left here? I had $83 as being the top for, well, the short-term top. I don't remember what I put here exactly or where it is, but let's find out. Let's see where I have this. Yep, $83. So I have it still marked here, sort of. Based on the trend, $83.29. You're not that far off at this point. Let me see here, but this cup and handle, this is crazy. All right. Hey, what's going on, Wall Street Diary? You got Plug and DG on your watch list? Yeah, Plug has been one we brought up a couple different times on the stream here. It's definitely one to be paying attention to. I mean, underneath, I think it had to break about $2.15 for it to really start to make the move. But Plug is definitely one. But PLTR 83.29, and you're almost there. I mean, you're almost there on this deal. So you got a few more dollars. Maybe get a little retracement back, probably somewhere to the 55 range before continuing on this. But ultimately, you know, you still got some money left on this to be made. It could come down a little lower, but I think, again, with the market still pushing up, I do believe you're still going to go to 620. You know, we're going to come back to this and be like, at 620, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, we talked about that. Will. All right, so, you know, as far as this is concerned, I do think you have more upside, man. So it's a good one to continue to watch and continue to put money into. As far as the whole idea with AI, the boom that's still happening there, and as we can see, the AI stocks are moving up. Still big money to be made on these things, man. We took a play yesterday in the Discord on Dell. Same concept, you know. Dell's also one to watch. HPE, ticker symbol HPE, another one to watch. I mean, a lot of them in this space are things to be paying attention to. SMCI also with the big buzzer beater out here. The SMCI is up, what, 35% today after 17% yesterday. Yeah, SMCI got their buzzer beater paperwork in, which you kind of knew was going to happen, but, you know, it was still an opportunity. It was always that question mark. Can they get it to happen? I mean, they did. They weren't going to let themselves get delisted. They didn't care if they had to work all night, you know, but they got this move right back up 35% today, up 17% yesterday. You know, it would have been a shot in the dark to, you know, grab some calls down there yesterday, but if you did, you're walking away happy right now. Congratulations, you are a degen. All right. But we did talk about it before as well, that it could potentially just head right back up. This is a problem stock. You know, this could have been an ABC correction the entire time. It's A, B, and a C. You ended C, and you move right back up off of a 5-way move off of the lows. All right. So let's see what happens on that stock. Let's move on to the next ones here. We got Roku and then Plug. Let's take a look at those. But Roku, Plug, all of these companies, they're all set up. AMC, AMC, even though AMC doesn't follow directions, I don't know, but it's also got the setup. But goodness gracious, they don't let that stock live to save its life, man. I'll tell you. I don't know what it is we did to these guys, but Roku up 0.36%. So Roku is an interesting one at first glance. Let's see. Yeah, it's got everything. It's got things looking nice so far. I charted this a while ago for a move back up, which it did do. All right, but then it broke down. This is old. I don't know when I did this, but I remember taking plays on it. Maybe in the summertime, at some point. Probably would have been here. Yeah, summertime. I wouldn't have made this wedge unless I was looking to play it around here. So it did come down, retest the wedge, came right back up, and now you got this move higher, came back, rejected by the creek line, and now you are bouncing off the old creeks and also bouncing off the old downtrend that was created on Roku, or the extension of the old downtrend. All right, because it lost the downtrend technically, and now you're in this kind of a buy up kind of a discount area outside of the uptrend that was established back here. You lost it completely. This whole area is kind of like a discount spot, which is hopefully building enough pressure for you to hopefully get back into the $90 to $100 range, which would coincide with this continuation of this trend line, something like this. Now, it's very possible. We just don't know exactly when. Let's find out. Let's see if there's any information we can get on this thing that'll guide you to that direction. But ultimately, right now, you still are making new higher lows off of the old drop. So this is something to pay attention to. All right, this old drop. No. Right here. You're still making higher lows off of this, which is a good thing. That's not bad at all. As far as the downtrend is concerned, you're kind of doing a little something. You're gonna have some issues here trying to get above $75.70. You're kind of like very close to it. 75.70 is going to be the daily creek line. So I'll mark it off to future reference. I'm sure we'll come back across this again. $75, and I'll tell you exactly the number. 75.64. All right, 75.64. 75.64. So we'll mark that off as a spot to be watching, and we'll make this goal so I know it's a creek line, and then boom. So we have this potential. Now you have a couple of days. That's getting really close, actually. How's volume look here? Push up, high sell volume. This is probably Trump pump, right? Pre-Trump pump. And then you got this move here on the 4th off the creek line, dip all the way down. Probably would have been an earnings play or something like that to the downside. Dropped it, ran up on the Trump pump, came back down, held the uptrend. It's now holding above. Yeah, you got a couple days. This thing could start to probably move really soon. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Jack, what's going on, man? You bought calls yesterday on that shit? Oh, my man. We were just talking about you. Congratulations, bro. That is a big move. DGen of the year goes to my man, Jack. Yeah, it was iffy, man. I was looking for it to potentially go to like $10 on on SMCI. High probability to do it, but man, it was you know, they definitely, you know, stayed alive on that one, but they weren't gonna let themselves get delisted. I mean, it was a great call to actually take to jump on it, man. Good move, man. Congratulations. That is a 50% move in about 2 days. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, this as far as this is concerned, you are looking possible. It's a possible move here. I'll do a local fib on this thing. You can get above 75, like I mentioned, yeah, 75.56, 75.64, $75 flat. If you get above the 707. And the daily creek is up here at 75.64. You could probably play a short-term move up that way if you're looking to play a short-term call type of situation. But I would not expect it to break that quickly. You're going to probably come down and retest like 73, maybe even lower. Right? But I can play it to about $75.60. It's about $1 and change if the market continues to want to agree with the upside move that it's having at the moment. So it's something to watch, but you know, again, there's question marks in the air again. All right, these question marks, uncertainty. The market does not like uncertainty more than anything else. But you can get a move here, get rejected, and then this downtrend that's been established would probably continue. So that's what you're looking for on Roku. Watch this downtrend. This one here, a move to about $75.60, and then from there a rejection to probably come back down to like 73, 72. Exactly, bro. That's what options really is, man. I mean, yes, you can play it very smart and very quick and get in and get out, but the mentality that most people that make the most amount of money, they already in their mind have written off the dollar amount that they're using. That dollar amount is like not in it's a negligible amount compared to what they'll probably make if they get the trade right. But in their mind, they've already lost that money. But you gotta, it's in my opinion, you have to be, you know, crazy in a way. Like I mean, I hate to say it that way, but it really is what it is. It's yes, you can be smart and all of that. It's great, but there's got to be a little bit of a crazy side to you to do this stuff, right? In a way, but that's with anything, right? That's life in general. The ones that can endure the pain and go through the struggles and the stresses and actually deal with it like it doesn't mean anything are the ones that, you know, are bodybuilders or whatever. Like they go to the gym and, you know, kill themselves every single day. Are the ones that wind up looking the way they look and get what they get. The ones that can sit here in front of a computer 24/7 and look at little lines and figure out where things are going to go next, you know, they deserve it. Or don't mind losing $100 to $200, $200, $1,000 for the potential to possibly make freaking 5, 10, 15, 20 grand, you know, are the ones that wind up actually doing it, right? Steve Jobs said, here's to the crazy ones. That's what he meant. You got to be a little bit crazy to go to the next level. It's what it is, man. It's part of life. It's part of life. You got to be a little bit crazy. There's a little bit of craziness that has to be part of you, you know, to get to where you ultimately desire to be. All right, so it's my little 2 cents, man. Hey, what's going on, Zany? Braveheart, what's happening? Welcome back, folks. Jesse, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying. Jason, what's going on? Welcome back, man. But that's what we're looking for on Roku. So just watch that possibility again and move to about 75.64, and then move back down to $73, and then, you know, don't look for it to break out right away. You need to kind of watch this thing for the upside move, and then from there, get out. All right, get in, get out. With the expectation of you possibly losing all your money. Not financial advice. All right. But the thing is that what we do is we try to educate ourselves every single day, get 1% better, right? To improve the odds. All right, improve the odds. And that's only necessary when you buy back your time, which I try to end the stream now by saying that every single day, is buy back your time. Right? When you buy back your time, it helps you it helps you to improve your odds of success, because you can study longer. You can stay quiet. You can do your own work, do your business, sit down and actually look and observe some things, so you can improve your opportunities, improve your opportunities to make changes that you want to see in your own life and in your family's lives. Right? And that's what sitting down in front of a computer could potentially do if you're watching the right stuff. That has high potential return on investments. And getting better and better and better at that, so you can start to, apply that to whatever it is you're doing in life. Right? And that's what understanding this market stuff really does for you. It just improves your opportunities because you sit down and actually pay attention to it. Man, this GME is getting close again. Oh my gosh, GME just doesn't want to give me a break, bro. Zany, what's happening? So in terms of AMC, we kind of talked about it a little earlier, but we'll talk about it again because it's always going to be a topic of conversation. GME can get a move here to $27 and 23 cents. That'd be nice, because then I have to redo all my TA again. But I'd be okay with that. $72 and it's $27.23. That'd be huge. Because then it would just defy all TA. I wanted to see it come down real quick, to come down to 25 and change, but we're gonna see. But as far as AMC is concerned, AMC could, I don't want to say it's done. All right, but it is in dire straits. I'll say that, because we lost this uptrend again. That's the second time we've lost this uptrend. But we have lost it on very low volume. All right, so we have two situations here. If GME, I'm going to have to put it on GME again, because, again, I'm going to have to say a lot of the moves that happen with AMC at this particular juncture are based off what GME does and decides to do. If GME could be strong like the way it's continuing to show strength, regardless of what's happening based on technical analysis, saying that it has to go down to $25, $28, $24.89, it keeps going up. All right. So somebody's going to capitulate soon if it keeps doing this. That can carry AMC back up. But ultimately, the one thing that AMC has on its side, which is exactly what we've been talking about. I still want to see AMC double, right? But GME is going to be the reason that it'll actually happen. So we got to give it a couple more weeks. It might have gotten extended by this move down, and then saying that the country's going to war and all that crazy stuff. However, the downtrend that's happened has been on very low volume. All right, it has also now lost the uptrend again for the second time of from the all-time lows of about $2.38. So ultimately, what I would like to see is off this level, which is the money line I've talked about for a while, which is why we got those calls that we called to 491. All right, a lot of folks made us a lot of money. I got a lot of nice inbox messages about this move. Thank you so much for putting this out. I appreciate it. I always love to hear things like that. That's why I do what I do. Right, and it hopefully helps you. Took some money, got some money out, so you can go rebuy back in at this low opportunity you're getting again, or maybe possibly lower. I want to say what it is. This whole setup here, 426 is still held up. Our low of the day was exactly 426. These numbers are not by happenstance. They're not by just guessing. They're based off me sitting in front of the computer for a long period of time and sharing what I've learned with everybody else. So I make my statements, even though they made me bold sometimes. I have reasons to say what I'm saying. Does it have to always play out? No, but I put a lot of time into it. I have a little bit of confidence in what I'm saying. But nonetheless, this low volume push down is off of low volume, and we have lost that uptrend again. We need to try to get into this range. If GME can do it and start to clearly get back above $28, I think it's a high possibility we can break 450. If GME gets rejected, we may lose 450, get rejected off of 450, in this range would be a retest of the underside of the uptrend on AMC from the long term, from the all-time lows, which could potentially push us below 426 and back into about the $3.50 range. It is possible. But in my opinion, if GME can really find a way to press up and press through $26, $27, $28, it will send this thing right back up. All right. We have a pattern here. Outside of GME, let me just remove a couple things so it's clear. I would like to see AMC get above 436 today and close above 436. That would be ideal in AMC's situation to try to turn back around and start making its way back into the wedges and back into the uptrend. However, in this case, I am seeing a pattern, another pattern here, which is a broadening top pattern off of this move upwards. All right, you have this kind of move here. All right. The next move technically would be another move up, which would take us back to $5. Right, this is a broadening top pattern. Right, it's a pattern that's played itself out a couple different times. You may have seen it in the past. It also shows up a lot of times around the end of schematics. Right, once you get to the end of a trend or end of a schematic, or it's a fake out pattern that fakes out bulls and bears over and over again until they decide what they want to do, or they just take all your money in the interim because you weren't sure what you wanted to do. So that's a pattern you'll see a lot of the times at the end of a schematic. I'll pull up a copy of it here. Give me 1 second here. But in this case, it happens a lot. Now, is AMC done? I don't think it's done for a lot of different reasons. But again, a lot of it circulates around what GME wants to do. All right, in my opinion. But ultimately, we'll see. We're going to see. But let me just give me a second here while I pull that up for you. I'll post a copy of it in just 1 minute. Let me do a print screen. Boom. And I've used this one a lot of times to make decisions on trades, just based on how this moves, pretty frequently. Did I get it? Oh, no, I didn't get it. Give me a second here. See if it actually posts up here. Give me a second. There it is. All right. This is ultimately what I'm looking for at this particular point on AMC. All right. I don't be mindful. Let me remove a couple things at this particular location on GME on AMC side. So we'll see if this actually winds up playing out. Now, the only thing that could happen here is you need to break back above 450 as soon as possible. Oh boy, GME is not listening, bro. GME's at 2680. GME can get back to like 2723. If he can do that, it might just like say forget everything I just said. And then Dogecoin, guys, Dogecoin, bro. But anyways, as far as this is concerned, here's your A section here on AMC's case. A, here's your B, down here's your C, here's your D move, which is kind of truncated at this point, right? You have like a partial decline set up, which is kind of this portion here, right? And then from here, you probably can turn back around, but the ultimate thing is going to be for 450 to break. If you break 450, we get a close back about like 436 today, and you break 450 probably in a day or two, AMC will probably head back up. All right, so it's not dead yet. It's just a matter of what's going to happen with GME at this point. If GME continues to like not listen to TA and is sellers start capitulating the way I'm thinking it looks like it's probably going to happen, AMC will go right back up, and GME will be again the reason why it goes back up. So it's a matter of time, guys. I hate to watch this thing just continue to struggle, but it doesn't mean it has to continue that way. All right. So we'll see. GME still moving, bro, right? Reverse split is coming. Oh my gosh, bro. No, don't do it to me. Just have him stay quiet. Just let it do what it needs to do, man. But GME is starting to pick up some steam, man. All right, I gotta look at GME again. Because GME, it probably broke out that downtrend I drew a little earlier, right? It's probably breaking out. So it's still inside the gauntlet, and it's just broke the downtrend. Oh my gosh, GME is not listening, bro. Oh, GME. Well, if GME wants to get going early, let's do it. I'm all here for it. I am here for it. Oh damn, it's 20. It's 12. I'll stay for a few more minutes. I'm gonna run to the next thing. But hey, let's go, GME. You're back inside the gauntlet. You never left the gauntlet, but you have reversed this whole move, broke this downtrend. I would like to see GME touch $27.23 today, or at least, or break above it. If you do that, then well, 27.23 would be nice. It'd be very nice. I'd be okay with that. Let's hope. J. Cole says 27.10 was a monster level for G. Yeah, man, it's for real. It's a real spot. But 27.10. All right, so let's talk the gauntlet section again because we're like really close. 27.06 is the first target here. We need to clear that. The 5-day 200 moving average. All right, 5-day 200 moving average. 5-day time frame 200. It's 27.12. And from there, if we can break that, we might see a little bit of a sweep to about 27.23. Very, very important. If we can get above that, then we're back in the game. But right now, I don't expect it to. But we'll see what happens in a little bit. Because I'm still expecting a drop. I'm expecting to go to 25.25, 25.80, 24.89. I have my box still here. But let's see. Let's see what happens. There's no guarantees yet, but I'm starting to think that these guys are starting to fold. And there's no way AMC stays down if GME really fully rips. In my opinion, it's going to go with it. But we'll see. But so far, GME is showing a lot of strength at these levels. So we're going to find out in a little while. We're going to find out in a little while. All right. Positive insights. I appreciate it, man. Definitely. All right. The like, subscribe, all that good stuff, folks. Folks, we are back again. Cannot believe this is happening again. Nick, what's going on, man? They both. It's the truth. They are one, and they're two peas in the pod, just different types of peas. That's what I like to call it, man. But man, GME looks strong again. All right, let's see. Are we getting the volume though? See, this is not enough volume. I want to see us break above the average line of the volume at least very soon. Our volume is still not enough, in my opinion, yet. This is why I'm not fully believing it yet. I think you still got to come down. Again, we had in the Discord yesterday, we were like fighting this thing, like trying to not buy calls here. Because it's not the place to do it. I still think you got to do this. Come up, get rejected, come down here. And then you buy calls. Because the volume will spike. Like right there, you need some sort of something that says that's the end of the trend or reversal pattern or some sort of something. You don't just melt up like this when you don't have enough volume to follow through. It doesn't work that way. Or really then sellers are just really giving up and they're like, well, we can't do anything about it. It's seller exhaustion that exists, right? There's exhaustion or seller exhaustion or volume exhaustion at a certain point, and you get pops that way. So that that does exist, but it's not common, right? Unless the stock is just really that freaking bullish, and GME so far is looking that way. Yeah. All right. See, I hear you, bro. I totally understand. If GME goes, AMC's going. In my opinion, that's what's gonna happen. So I do appreciate everybody once again. You guys could be anywhere else in the world here with me. Totally appreciate you on that. Yeah, I'm still holding a very small amount of AMC calls. A very small amount for $6. But it's gonna be further out. I'm not doing it till if it go red. Well, I know that's part of the game. Like I said, you gotta be a little crazy to do this stuff. But look at my man J100K. He was crazy. He was crazy, right? He bought calls on SMCI yesterday, and look what it did. It's up 35% now in one day. So there you go. All right, let me look at Archer real fast while we wait for this thing because GME is still, bro, it's crazy. How high can GME go, bro? You sure you want to know the answer to that question? Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, GME, I have it. If you haven't caught the video that I made a couple weeks ago now on GME, that's what I'm really expecting to happen. I have GME top target. I have is 215, 230. It can go crazier than that, but that's just a conservative number based upon the chart pattern that we have in front of us. Not going to go anything outside of that. Anybody who does is just like, hoping. But in my opinion, based on a chart pattern, you are going to at least 215. Wave 3 will get you up to 120. All right, 120.35. Back to 80, and then from there you're looking for one more potential push, a little bit higher, roughly about maybe a little bit higher, maybe 128, 130, something like that. It's possible, but I'm not going to touch this. I already did it. I'm not going to touch it. But ultimately, I'm looking for about 250 before you come back down. It's going to take a couple months, though. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It'll definitely be probably somewhere in, probably the middle of next year. But by February, I think we'd be at $100, $130 by February. 120, 130, somewhere in that range. Oh, yeah, sure. No problem, Nick. Hey, I appreciate you once again, man. I'd love to continue to see you here going forward. An AMC, if you start making those kinds of moves on GME, I can clearly see AMC getting at least about $20 by that time. But again, GME has to really get started. It's at the beginning of the move. This is the start of GME. This is the start of the third wave after the second wave was completed roughly on October 28th. So this is the start of the third wave, in my opinion, on GME. So it's going to take a minute to do it, but it's bullish all the way up to about $120, which is the old all-time high. Wall Street Diary. Yes, you did say that a little earlier. DLTR? You said PLTR. I don't know what DLTR is. Congratulations, man. Good stuff on SMCI, my friend. Good money. Not the top for AMC. No way. AMC's top is pretty wild. It can go to like at least $1,000 if in just based on the chart, it can go there. Now, will it go there? I don't think so. But what the chart says it can do, it can go to $100, $1,000. Now, is it going to go there? I don't see that. I do see it going to at least 250, somewhere around there. But it won't be for a while. It'll take a couple of years to do that. All right, so just want to give you that expectation. A lot of people are looking for the squeeze tomorrow. These things are not going to happen. They can, but in my opinion, you're going to have to hold this thing for another couple of years, man. All right, it is what it is. Let's set our expectations so we don't, so we can be pleasantly surprised rather than, unpleasantly let down. So we have to set our expectations for the longer time frames, guys. 60 and I'm out. Now I get you. I would totally understand that. I would totally get that, bro. So I'm with you on that idea. We get anywhere in those numbers, I'll start rethinking the situation. Just take the capital back out and then redeploy it. I can do much better with that capital all tied up rather than having to sit there forever. Just continuing to trade it. But to sit there and let it be die like that when I could have done a lot of other things with that capital. Yeah, not cool. So at that point, I'll be thinking twice about if I want to hold to the 1,000, 100, all that stuff. Because most people should be green by that point. Most people should be green by that point, in my opinion. Dollar General. So let's take a look at Dollar General, and then we'll get ready to roll out here in a minute. Dollar General, so DG. Let's see what we got here. I don't think I ever charted this one out, did I? It's making a couple higher lows here on the hourly. And let me remove a couple of these here. It's up 0.38% today. He said 60 and I'm out. Bro, I would not blame you. Yeah, I would not blame you. It's got a big old gap here to fill at some point. High volume sell-off. Was it? Where's earnings? Earnings in 16 days. What happened here? It's not earnings, not an earnings dump. This is on August 30th. It dropped like crazy. I mean, you're close to trying to turn around, but that was technically an end of your trend. I mean, technically speaking, that's a big drop off. Let's go to the 4 hour. That has to be news related. I mean, that's a lot. This looks like, what do you got here? Bounce location. A little bit of a you have a midline here. Not really, not exactly, but that looks like a midline to some degree. You had similar drops last year as well. I hear you. I know the feeling. Trust me. I think a lot of people in this this stream know the feeling. It is like overextending in these stocks sometimes, you know. But let's see here. Let's see. That was a very high volume drop off. Let's look at the monthly real quick. Let's first look at the weekly. Bro, that's crazy. So it's basically, no, it's not a new all-time lows. Okay. Yeah, this is a lot of support, a lot happening in this range over here. So you are in a spot where there's a lot of volume that took place during that time frame. Look at the VRVP. All right, so you did have a lot of trading take place in here. So you are sitting on top of a volume shelf. Right, this area here, you can see how it sticks out a lot more than all the other areas. This is kind of like a home base kind of sort of for the stock. So we can call this like a point of control. Right, up to between 70 and 77, just around what you are at 77 at this particular point in time. You are back at point of control on the stock. So this is kind of where it belongs at this point. Will it turn around and bounce back up? I would have to say it will. But how high? Let's find out. Can you get back to $100? Let's see. If we get back to about 97, we got this little bump out here. Maybe a little shorter. Let's go back to roughly about here. Let's say about 79, 80 bucks, possibly within this range. That's probably as best as you'll get. But it's probably starting to try to recover very soon. Let me look at a couple other things real quick. Oh, man, they really tanked this thing. But it was too high. It was very high off of its point of control area. It definitely was. So it just took the opportunity to bring it right back down there. Let's see. You may be able to get back up. I can see it getting back into this range very soon, man. Probably somewhere in that $83 range. 83 bucks. I know. Let's see if there's any platinum crosses here. Volume should start picking up very soon. But I can see $83 probably. $83 seems like a reasonable spot from what I can see from this spot from here. But you just need to see the cross through above certain levels here. Let me just confirm a couple things. I'm moving kind of slow here. Yeah, about $80 to $83 probably makes sense to try to get back to the top of this range. If you can clearly get back above it and hold it, then you can probably start heading towards 100. But 85, 90, somewhere around that range. But ultimately, right now, from this spot, I do think you have a good opportunity to head upwards, just up until probably in that range, maybe 85 to 80, 83 to 85. I would say 83 would be the best, something to get up out of here, at least a little bit. But ultimately, longer term, it's going to take a while, it looks like, because this stock doesn't move a lot, it seems like. What does it do per? It's less than $1 million in volume. Oh no, it's actually sorry. It's 4 million in volume. It's not too bad. 17 billion market cap. All right, so last 30 days about 4 million in average trading. So it's got a chance. It could start to recover a little bit. But again, you need the market to start to be on its side. I think it's a good opportunity to get up there because of a couple of things that's going on macroeconomic side. In terms of some spending that's going to be available to some people. So, I mean, there's, from this perspective, I think you can get up there at least. If you start to clear that level, when you start clearing $87, now it gets fun. You can go back and fill this entire gap, right back up to about $100, $120. And that'll happen pretty fast because not a lot of trading took place in that range. You slammed through it so quickly. But in my opinion, right now, you probably have a good chance to, again, head to $83 and kind of decipher from there what you want to do next. All right. Let me see. No doubt, man. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully it's helpful. Yeah, with the rate cuts, that's exactly what I'm saying. That from the macroeconomic perspective, I can see it getting at least to up in that range, man. With the extra money, the spending ability, and all that, it looks like a great spot to be buying and accumulating it up, which I think is kind of happening now. But you're probably going to try to recover this whole thing, and it makes sense if you can start it up. But $83, I think, is your first real target to really watch. When you start clearing $83, yeah, it's going to get nice. It would be real nice back to $100 at least, $120. All right. Hey, what's going on, John? John, appreciate you stopping in. I'll check that out, and then I'm going to get ready to roll out here, guys. 12:30. I'm usually on pretty much from like 9 o'clock. I'm on with you guys for a little bit, but I'm generally on in the morning with the Discord folks from like 9 o'clock in the morning. So, got to eat sometime. Can't let GME and AMC, run my entire life. Nah, just kidding, man. No problem. No worries at all. Let's see. RKLB, my man, J. Cole in the Discord. He's in this stream right now somewhere. He has been rocking this RKLB since like $6, man. It's incredible, bro. That is like the find of a century. That is a fantastic move, but I do think it's going to continue to roll. We talked about it a few times in our Discord. He caught this move. It just keeps on pushing. I think I said, what did I say, about $30, $40 you can get out of this thing? I don't remember what I said, but RKLB is just the truth right now. Yeah, I mean, if you're going long shares on this thing, you just let it rock. I don't really see a reason to be afraid of it. Let me see I don't remember what I wrote here. Let me take a look. Oh, here it is. Yeah. If you break $21.35, yep, I remember us talking about this. I have a target here. The 1618 at $65, bro. I remember this. This is a full-fledged accumulation move. So you guys know we talk about this all the time. $21.35. Forget about it. This thing is gone. All right, we've actually talked about it a few times on the stream, I believe. But it had the Adam and Eve pattern down here. All right, it's a little tough to see it from this perspective, but we've talked about it a few times here. I think you're new to the channel here, John. I don't think I've seen your name before, but a couple other folks that are here have watched me mention this in the past. Adam and Eve pattern, full accumulation is completed. You got this breakout here at $6.35 when we first started talking about it, maybe about a month ago. If that. Actually, probably about a month, maybe a little longer ago. We were probably down in this range still. Yeah, August, let's say August or so. And then from there, it's just been shot out of here, man. Just gone. But 21.35, you break that, you're very close to that now. Watch out. This thing can go pretty far, pretty fast at that point because you'd be breaking the current all-time high. You break that, you just continue to stair step up. Just watch your volume, and then you just watch out for the solid numbers, 30, 40, 50, and so on and so on and so on. But it gets crazy. This increase in volume, it's just increasing in volume as prices going on. This could be like your first wave so far. I'd watch it move to maybe 35, 36, come back down to about 25 or so, and then you just keep going. So, you're good, man. UWMC is in the same sector. Hey, good stuff, man. Good stuff. But now this can go for a while, guys. So watch RKLB, man. All right, folks. Gonna get ready to run out of here. Appreciate you guys. Adam and Eve forming on that. It might be the same too. Same thing. I'll message you on that in the Discord, Jesse, and we'll talk about that more in detail. I'm gonna get ready to run off of here though, man. Hey, no problem, John. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully hit the like and subscribe, and I can catch you on the next couple of videos down the line, my friend. Hopefully this is helpful. All right, folks. Get ready to roll out of here. Grab some lunch. Do all that kind of stuff, so we can get back to all of the business that we got going on in these charts as well. So. Do appreciate all you guys stopping and hanging out. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to spend your time with me. I appreciate you totally for that, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe button. All right, all that good stuff. If you want to join us on the way up, the link to this is in the description of this video for the trading group as well, if you're interested in checking that out. All right. But yeah, that's how we're going to do that. But I'm going to say peace to everybody in the room and in the stream here with us today while we wait for things to continue to unfold on some of our favorite stocks. All right, let's say peace to everybody up in here. We got Craig, Spaghetti Master. Spaghetti Master, cool name, man. Oren, J. Cole, Drift, Ben, Emmanuel, Steve, Bill, the Greek, appreciate you. 2023 Gainer, Oaks Way, Annie, J100K, Mishmash, appreciate all you guys stopping in. Iron Man, Illy, who else? Drift. The Will Street Diary. All right, appreciate you again. Once again, first time seeing you today. Hope to continue to see you going forward, my friend. Illy, Jacked with the big plays. Zany, Braveheart, Jesse, Jason. Who else? Nick Rad, Positive Insights. I think I got everybody just about. John Pinto, once again, appreciate you all stopping in. Everybody, once again, appreciate the time and consideration and watching. Hopefully, you guys are continuing to monitor and get that 1% better every single day. All right, that's all it takes. Before you know it, that 1% will turn to 1,000, 1,000 turns to 1,000,000, and so on and so on. It's exponential growth, folks. All right, make sure you get ready to buy back your time. And that's how we do this, all right? Appreciate everybody once again. You guys take care for the rest of the afternoon. Catch you guys later. Peace.